Okay. How to set everything up, my painting table. Took me a second. Yeah. This is so different. So try to find a place to put my phone. My painting table is a hot mess, y'all. The plan is to clean up this weekend, but we'll see. I need to rearrange my painting table, I think. Hello. But I'm working on a custom, and I'm also working on this cuddle baby, and then I plan on starting now the giveaway baby as well. So I'm doing a few things. I'm doing a few things on this live. Um, Lots of babies. So they're at different steps. So I thought that would be fun. Like this one, he's like very, very close to being done. And like I just said a second ago, he's just a cuddle baby. So he's just ahead. I think I haven't decided if I'm gonna root him or not. Maybe just do painted hair, maybe Combi, because I don't know. He does have a weird head shape. I don't I like I I don't maybe it's just me. Like it's like too pointy or something. I might be crazy. So I haven't decided. I know he's not going to be bald is my point. But he's a nice like darker skin tone. I really love how he's coming out. So I'm quite excited about him. Okay, is he again? I think he's Greta by Lisa Marks, or is he Adelina? He's one of those. He's one of the cuddle babies by Elisa Marks. And then this right here is a custom, and this is Zane by I don't know how to say her name. Betel. It's Ebtehal. Abul. I don't know how to say her name. I'm so sorry, but he is Zane. And he's a bigger baby, like he's round, I would say 22 and a half inches. So not small by any means. This is my preferred size of doll. But yeah, I'm almost done his painting. Like right now I'm going to be doing his blushing. I'm working on his blushing, his lips, those type of things, those finishing things for him. Or actually, I think the person who ordered him wants this baby as a girl, so which I can see. And then, like I said, I'm going to start painting on the giveaway baby. But I also wanted to show you who I just finished, who I actually really enjoy. That is next in line for hair this weekend. I did another Skya, Realborn Skya Sleep. This lighting, I don't know why. I guess you can kind of see. She's very, very newborn. I think it looks more like a boy. We'll see when I root the baby, but I think it looks like a boy. And it has a very, very newborn skin tone. So lots of pinks and purples and newborn details that you can't see right now. So that baby will be posted on my reborns.com account probably, I'm thinking early next week when I finish rooting. This one is definitely going to be rooted. I'm thinking of doing something different with the hair, like doing a blend of colors. Not really sure. We'll see, because I have quite a bit of odds and ends as far as hair currently. And I'm thinking that a nice little like blend of colors might be interesting to do, especially because, like I said, this baby's not that dark. And so I think it would work if I used a little bit of lighter hair. But yeah, so generally, I've just been Hanging out, like I said, I haven't gone live in a while, I think. So I thought, it's Friday. I'm not doing much other than painting. So thought I would come and hang out and see who joins in, if anyone, and just kind of check in with people. I've been pretty good, busy, 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 busy. The new semester started. For those of you who don't know, I am in grad school, so at this point, so the new semester has began. It began the day after. When did it start? Oh, Martin Luther King Jr. Day. That's when it started. The day after that. That's how the spring semester always goes at my college. So yeah, new semester. This is my second semester now of grad school, so it's going pretty well. Luckily, my program is built for people who work full time like myself. So I only have class twice a week, and it's from 6 to 9 p.m. Usually they don't make us sit there all the way till 9 p.m., thankfully, because I swear, like, sometimes I'm like falling asleep. And it's all online. Like, all my classes are online. So that also helps because literally I get home from work at like 5:20-ish. I make dinner or eat something real quick, and then I'll literally will go and lay in bed, roll over, and sign into my Zoom classes. And it works really, really well. Like I said, they built this program like that on purpose because they want people to continue their career. And so that's why they did the online program version of this. And because it's through the university of where I'm employed, some of my classes are free. So I'm not even paying that much at all out of pocket. Like for the semesters. I didn't pay anything at all for last semester, and this semester I only had to pay very, very little. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy with how things are going. I got A's in my classes last semester, and I'm thinking I'll probably have the same this semester as long as I keep up with my assignments. It's not really that difficult, I would say. For me, I think a lot of people find what's difficult really about my program in particular is that you have to keep up with stuff like group projects, and like you're still working, but they do so many like semester long things, meaning you don't have to like it's not due the very next week or something like that. That I think that helps a lot. But then again, if you're someone who procrastinates, yeah, I can see how even like doing a semester long project would be even worse for you because you would have to like make yourself stay doing it throughout the semester and not wait to the last second. But I've never personally been someone who procrastinates, so it works for me, is what I'm saying. Like, it's been great. And by that's why by the end of this, obviously I'll be able to say I have my master's, and then go for higher positions and continue my career. And even if like if I'm not satisfied with just having my master's, um, my university even has the doctoral program version of my degree. So like I could keep going if I wanted to, which I probably honestly being realistic, I probably will. Um, just because I'm trying to like get to the top. Like I'm making what I'm doing, I'm making it into a career, and I'm I think I'm pretty good at my job, so I think I'm gonna continue on doing it. And I don't even think I mentioned what I do. Um, so obviously I paint the dolls, but that's not my main job. I wouldn't ever rely on dolls to be just my main job because it's so unreliable. Meaning there's times where I can sell a doll literally as soon as I post it. And then there's times where like I have with Realborn Joanna, who I still have available. she's been available since December. So like you can't predict what will sell, what won't. It's like almost impossible because usually Realborn Joanna sells quickly. This one in particular, this version I did, has not sold yet. And so I would never ever, me personally, rely on just making reborns as a source of income because I don't like the unpredictability of it. Because they're luxury items, you know, you don't people don't have to buy them. And that's true of pretty much every art form. You're kind of at the mercy of hoping that there's a buyer. So, what I do, and I've been doing this type of career since immediately after I graduated from undergraduate. So, over 2 years now. I work for the university and I'm in an administrative role. Like, you know, basically, I work in an office and help with policy, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, for some people, I know that sounds boring, but I love it because I've always, when I was growing up, when I was going through like middle school, and they would ask you, what do you want to do when you grow up? My answer was always, somewhere along the lines of I wanted to help people. And so originally, I took that very literally. So I thought that the most obvious way to help people was to go to med school. So when I first started this channel, and up until really long time, my plan was to go to med school. Like that was my whole thing. I was on the pre-med track in undergrad at first, and somewhere along the way, I would probably say closer to like my junior year of undergraduate, I realized, "Oh my god, I do not wanna do that. I do not wanna go to med school." I was like, "I don't think I'll be happy, I think I'll be miserable because, yes, I'll be helping people, but I'll be stressed constantly." So, I, like, had basically a freak out because that's always what I thought I was gonna do. I thought I was going to go to med school or at least PA school, physician assistant. Um, I thought that I was going to be in the medical field, like, almost always. That was the idea that I had for helping. And so when I realized I don't think I want to do that because you're talking about you're literally in life or death situations every single day. It takes a very, very specific type of person to be able to do that. And like I had to realize that I don't think so. I want to help people, but I don't want to be what makes or literally ruins their life or continues their life. Like I didn't want to be in that position, you know. And for me, it was never really I've never really cared too much about making a whole bunch of money. So for me, that wasn't like the motivating factor. So when I decided, oh, I don't want to do that, I knew I would find something else to do that would make my life, worth it. Um, and I would feel like I was still doing something. And so then I got like positions as an undergraduate working in higher education and as a work study student, and I really, really liked it. And I was like, "Oh my gosh." I don't know why my brain didn't think that, "Oh, you can definitely help people very directly by working in higher education." It just never occurred to me. And so when I got that work study job, that's when it all clicked. I was like, "Oh my gosh, I could do this as a career and help people without like worrying if they're going to live or die from my conversations with them, or whatever, I wouldn't be directly involved in life or death situations." And so that's where I finished out my degree because it didn't matter what I ended up doing. My degree was going to be helpful for pretty much anything I wanted to do. And that's why I choose chose to do that in the first place because I don't know, I guess I had an idea that I wouldn't want to go to med school maybe in the back of my brain. And so I was like on a pre-med track, but my degree wasn't specifically medically related. So yeah, that's what I ended up doing. That's how I ended up working where I work for my university, my alma mater. Um, and yeah, so I'm just going to continue to do that. And my goal really is to be pretty high up, meaning I would love to be in like a director role, like a director of financial aid, director of engagement, something like I want to do something like that because I have like, oh my gosh, I have so many ideas. And like right now, luckily, I have a great supervisor who will listen to me ramble about my ideas and she'll take into account what I have to say, but it's not always gonna be like that, so I want to be in a role where I can make decisions and try to implement some of my ideas, like, I have so many ideas for how we can improve higher education institution, specifically where I work, like, I have so many good ideas that, are feasible because that's a big thing, like, having ideas or dreams of what you wanna do, but is it possible? But yeah, I have a lot of ideas, and that's why I'm doing my master's program so that I can continue to move up and have the qualifications, like, one of the classes I'm in right now is literally about assessment, meaning an evaluation, meaning checking to see if programs make sense, if you can actually do them, how to do studies to see if it will actually improve conditions for the students. Um, so that's one of the classes I'm in right now. And thankfully I've already been thinking like this when so it's been pretty straightforward of a class because I'm like I already think about these things. I'm always worried about like are my ideas making sense? Could they even happen? So I don't know. I'm just a nerd when it comes to like what I do in my degree program. Like I'm just super excited. Um, but yeah, I should have my master's next year. It's not a long program at all. Um, so that's super exciting. I knew no matter what I did though, I knew I was going to want a master's degree no matter what I end up like going into whatever work field. Just because let's be honest, these days like you cool, you have your bachelor's degree. That's really not as big of a deal as it used to be, which is a shame and that's something for sure to be talking about as a lot of people are, but having your bachelor's is not as much of a big deal anymore. So I always knew kind of where I wanted to be would not be in the same type of like lower level role my whole life. So I always knew I was going to have to eventually get my master's degree um, to move up, I guess. Because while I'm not like necessarily money motivated, I just feel like personally for a level of success, I don't wanna be in a low level role for my entire life. Um, some people are happy with that because they don't necessarily want the responsibility of being like a supervisor or being someone that has to make decisions, and that's like so valid. I understand that so much. Like you just wanna go to work, do what you're meant to do, go home. But my brain, the way I work, I can't do that. Like I'm a workaholic, like low key, which is why even I just got off of work at 5 and I'm already like painting dolls. I'm like low key slash high key a workaholic. And so even when I go home or um I get off of work, I'm thinking about work, y'all. It's so bad. It's not good. I'm thinking about things that happen at work or things that we could do. And so that's why I knew me, I couldn't be in a lower role for the rest of my life because I want to do so much. I want to do too much. I want to do I get this all the time from my coworkers and they mean it in like a loving way. They're not like being mean about it, but all the time they're like you have to check kind of where you are in your career before you do stuff. Meaning sometimes I want to do things that are above my pay grade. Either I'm doing way more than I need to for my current role, or I'm trying to implement things that are not necessarily within my prerogative to implement, or that yeah. So that's why I'm like I got to be a boss someday because I want to do things. I want to do too many things. Um, and that's just me. But like I said, completely valid. You just want to go to work, get paid, go home. That is, I understand that. I just can't. I cannot. Um, I feel I've always been like this though. I've always been someone that has to do something almost all the time. Like I have to make myself on the weekends not do a bunch of activities. Like this weekend I'm going to do a lot of classwork, but then I'm going to make myself chill out and like play the Sims or something. Cuz if not, I'll like work myself to death. Like I literally will make myself sick sometimes doing too many things. Um so that's the plan this weekend. Do a little bit of coursework, and then chill out, maybe watch a basketball game or two or a few, play Sims, work on painting every now and then. See, that's the good thing about these dolls. Like for me, since I paint throughout the week, by the weekend, most of my painting is done. And then I can just do rooting, which to me isn't really that it's not a lot of work. Meaning when I'm rooting, usually I'm just like watching a movie or something. So so it's just so repetitive at this point for me that I don't have to focus like I do when I'm painting like right now. Um yeah, rooting for me is just so you're just doing the same thing over and over and over again. That I don't even consider that like work for me because I'm usually watching something or listening something while I'm doing it. I'm just like chilling out. And it's actually kind of relaxing rooting for me at this point. It didn't used to be. Oh my gosh. I used to hate rooting. Am I planning on going to the doll show this year? Yes. The one in if you're talking about the one in Raleigh, yes. In fact, I need to get my hotel room soon. But yes, 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 yes. I do plan on going. I just I'm not sure how I'm gonna get there. Meaning I need to find someone who's willing to come get me because I absolutely refuse to drive in Raleigh, North Carolina. I don't like to drive, and y'all who have been around like my channel for a while know this. I hate driving. I drive every day because I have to, but I absolutely hate driving, and not to mention long distances, and definitely not in cities. Cannot. I don't. I'm just not. I have too much driving anxiety still. For reference, I've been driving for going on 3 years now, so not long. And I'm sure that the more I drive, the less horrible it will be for me, or maybe not. I have no idea. But I hate driving. If I could, I would just not drive. So for me, I live about 3.5 hours from Raleigh. And in theory, could I make the drive? Yes. If I made myself like just stick with it and deal with it, maybe stop in like halfway and take a chill break and then keep driving. Could I do it? Yeah, probably. I mean, I've driven like 2.5 hours before and 2.5 hours back. So yes, I've done like 5 hours of driving in a day. So yes, I can make the drive and then, chill out and at the hotel for a few days. But am I gonna do that? Hell no. I am not driving to Raleigh. I'm not driving to Raleigh. I'm not driving in Raleigh. So yeah, basically I know I'm going. I just don't quite know how I'm getting there yet. Um it'll be in the summer, so my hope is that some of the college students are going to be going home for around that time, and that I'll be able to maybe get a ride from some of them because a lot of the students who go here do live in Raleigh, and I could just like help with gas. I'd way rather pay for someone to get me there and back than to drive. I just don't want to do it. Um, but yeah, so I will be there eventually, somehow, some way. Um, because I had so much fun last year. Like, oh my god, it was so cool too. Because at this particular show, I got to meet like my internet friends that I had known for years. I finally got to meet them in person. So, I mean, you can't beat that kind of experience. Um, like I have a core, I would say a core group of Reborn friends that I've been friends with for quite a few years. I don't know how many years at this point. Some of them some of them it's been longer than others, like, some of these people I've known for, like, 5 years, um, some 3. But anyway, I've known them for years now at this point, and so I finally got to meet some of them in person. A lot of the other ones I had already met in Charlotte. Y'all saw those videos, few years back, and that was awesome. But the rest of them, I got to meet at the doll show last year. So, and they're planning to go back again. So, um, yes, I do want to go. Do I plan on buying a doll? I never usually plan on buying a doll. Sometimes I just end up buying a doll. Um, I don't think I will this year, but we'll see. I said that last year and I did buy a doll, and then I end up selling them anyway. Um, I don't know. I changed my collection so much that I never like go to the doll show planning to buy a doll. I usually go to doll shows um, to meet up with people or to hang out or to see the dolls. Like, I love going to doll shows primarily to look at different artists' work because where else are you going to see them in person unless you have like artist friends who live near you, which I do not. um, I'm in the mountains, up in the mountains of North Carolina, so there's not really anyone near me. So I would have to go to Charlotte to see some artists or Winston-Salem. I know some artists that do live in Winston-Salem, which is not far from me. It's like an hour and a half. I've driven to Winston-Salem and driven around Winston-Salem, but um, yeah, that's like the main reason I go to doll shows is to see other artists, to see other work, get some inspiration, and plus it's just fun to be around a bunch of people who understand your hobby. Um, there's nothing like it. I mean, when I went to my first doll show in 2019, it was Rose, and this was before Rose started, for lack of a better term, sucking. Like, Rose went downhill after 2019 bad. Very downhill. That's why I never went back after that because it went really bad downhill really quick. Um, but going to that doll show like made my life. Oh my gosh, it was so much fun and like Salt Lake City in general, that area is so beautiful and like the people were amazing, like, the people in the town were amazing and so nice, like, the lady I stayed with in Utah, she was a little Filipino grandmother, and she made food for me and stuff because, once I told her that growing up, one of my babysitters/nanny, slash nanny, she was Filipino, um, and so for the first, like, 2 years of my life, I didn't speak much English. I only spoke Tagalog, and I would only eat Filipino food for, like, the first 2 years of my life. Like, my babysitters in, slash nanny, she would send food home with me so that I would actually want to eat. So once I told the lady I was staying with that in Utah that, she was like cooking for me and like, oh, she was just so sweet, and it gave me all those like feelings again. And I don't know, like, so it wasn't just going to Rose was a great experience. The whole going to Utah for me was like life changing because I had never traveled that far before. I had only been on the East Coast basically. Well, I went to Little Rock, Arkansas, but that was as far as I had ever gone, ever. So going to Utah was like incredible. I had never gone that far, and I flew alone. Like, I think one that was one of the first times I flew alone. Was it? I wouldn't say that. I think it was the furthest. It was definitely the furthest I've flown alone, and even going through the airport was so cool because everyone loved the dolls. Everyone was just like, "Can I see your doll?" Um, yeah. So there's so much around going to doll shows that it's not just um here's a doll show, look at the dolls and leave. There's so much else around going to the doll shows that make it worth going to. Like I know they're trying to get Rose back to where it used to be. And so maybe I'll go not this year, but next year I might go back just because I liked Utah so much and I've been wanting to go out that direction again. And I almost planned the trip for my birthday this year in Colorado. I was like this close to booking a trip to Colorado this year. Decided against it because instead I'm going to the Hozier concert in Charlotte because it happens like 2-ish weeks after my birthday, and he's one of my favorite singers. So I was like, I'd rather do that instead this year because he's not touring every year, but Colorado's not going anywhere right now, so um, that's why I decided not to go this year. But yeah, I love going to doll shows. Highly recommend if you haven't gone to one and you have the ability to, because honestly, if you go with someone, hello everyone. I see people joining in. If you go with someone, like if you like we the whole reason I have this group of friends is because originally I decided to make a group chat and like reach out to people when I was going to Rose so that I wouldn't show up there and not know anyone. So if you do something like that and you start to get to know people, then when you like actually if you get to know someone enough like I did, you can start to split the costs, and it is not expensive at all. Like it's super super reasonable to go to a lot of doll shows if you plan ahead and if you are just good with budgeting, which I am. I mean, the trip to Rose in 2019, I was literally still a college student, undergraduate, and was only working a work study job and making dolls. And I wasn't even making nearly as much money from the dolls as I am now back then. Like I wasn't selling as many, I wasn't making as many, so I wasn't making as much from the dolls as I was. And I was able to do that trip because I planned like meticulously. Like I was going to stay at this place. This is how much it's going to cost me to take an Uber to the comic like the center where they were holding it. This is how much my flight is going to be. I need to get my flight this time because you can watch flights to see if they'll drop in price. I do that all the time. Um, so it can be super super reasonable, especially if you split the cost with like a friend. And it's even better for me now because my mom this is not true for most people, but my mom works for Hilton now. So guess where most doll shows are being held at Hilton's. So I get cheap rates now. and I really want to share that with someone. Like I'm trying to convince some of my friends to go and split a room with me, like have like a two bed situation. You know what I'm talking about. And split a room with me so that we can get even cheaper accommodations because I already get the cheap price per night, which is cheaper than the hotel rate, like the doll show special. Yeah, the rate I get is cheaper than that. But and that's why I'm like I'm trying to convince someone, hey, split a room with me. I promise I don't bite. Um, so that we can like barely spend anything on the hotel, so that we can do other things in Raleigh. Like I'm trying to go to like aquarium or something. I don't know. I'm gonna do something else this year. Last year I went with my work friend and I paid for the whole trip, which was fine. It wasn't that bad. Um, but she wasn't into reborns like that. Like she was just going to one support me and drive me and drive me around. And she was going to drive me around and she was going to because she just thought they were interesting, but she's not a collector, she's not an artist. She was just going to be a good friend and kind of see the world of reborns from a different lens. Like she just wanted to be a part of it. She's an artist, but just not a reborn artist. So she thought it was pretty cool, interesting. And so she agreed to go with me because I was like, I'll pay for the trip if you drive me around. So basically, she got her a nice little free trip. I paid for gas and all the lodging and food. Most of the food I paid for, um, stuff like that. So I would definitely be willing to do that again with someone I know. Like, hey, free weekend trip to Raleigh, let's go. Or just, split the hotel room and then I pay for the rest. Okay, how much would it cost to strip a newborn kit just to the head to redo? I have his whole body, but I love cuddle babies. Um, for me to strip it, I'm gonna be honest with you. Um, I hate stripping dolls. Like I hate redoing them. So I only do like one every so like very, very rarely because it's such a chore. But if you're just doing the head, I wouldn't charge too much to do that, honestly. If you're asking my prices, um, I wouldn't charge but probably $50 extra on top of what I normally charge to paint if I'm just doing the head. And the only reason I would even offer that is because isn't Asher Asleep a sold out? Like he was limited edition, sold out. If it was a kit you could still get, honestly, for most people, I tell them just to get a new kit and rather than strip it. It's just so time consuming. I couldn't decide which doll show to go to, so I decided on a cruise instead. My first solo cruise, I went to the Kansas show last 2 years. I didn't collect dolls yet. I am an artist. I have thought about going to the Kansas one because it seems like it's fairly popular, but I don't know. I don't know. I haven't decided if I'll go to that yet. It's usually at a bad time of year for work. Like we're usually pretty busy when the Kansas show is happening. So that's also part of why I have definitely not gone yet. Um yeah, I don't know. Because it's obviously not as easy as having now I have a show within the same state as me where I can literally just pop over for the weekend and go home. So it takes a lot more planning. And then it's not like the Rose Doll Show, which is also in the summer. Summers are way better for us where I work, because the college students are mostly gone. So we're usually way less busy. Um, like we do have summer classes, of course, but mm, I would say like 90% of our students are gone by then, um, by when those doll shows are. So, yeah. It's just the timing, and the same thing with that, other show in Orlando. Like, that one, the timing of that couldn't be worse for that show. Like, it's in December. I'm already, like the problem with that is, like many other working people, December, you're already planning to go on, like, a vacation or a break to see family or to celebrate the holidays. So, for them to have that show in December is like, ugh, worst timing ever. So I will never, even though my brother, he lives in Orlando, by the way, I will probably never be able to go to that Orlando show, like, ever, just because of when they decide to have it in December. Like, I'm already spending a lot of money in December buying presents for everyone and buying plane tickets because pretty much at this point all my family lives in Maryland and Virginia, where I'm from Maryland, and like, mm, I would say now at this point, 80 to 90% of my family has now either stayed in Maryland or have relocated back that way. Like, my mom is the reason why we ended up in North Carolina, and now she's back in Maryland. So once I like was in my last year of undergraduate, she said, "Peace out. I'm going back to Maryland," because she missed the family. So yeah, it's just a bad month to have a show. I don't know why they do it in December. I wish they did it. I don't even know, like, hmm, April would be nice. That'd be cool. Like, the end of April would not be so bad for me work wise, and it'd be far away enough from December that I could save up my vacation days and then go. Because that's another thing. Luckily, because I work for the state, technically I work for the state of North Carolina. I get paid time off, but you do have to save up your vacation days and stuff. Um, but yeah, so when by the time December would roll back around, I would have those days saved right back up and be able to use those again. Yeah, it's just. I would like to be able to go because I don't like Florida, but it would be like super nice because I'd be able to see my brother down there and also go to the show. So like I would have two reasons to be down in Orlando. Um, he's a because he's a resident. Also, he gets cheaper tickets to Disney World. I don't know if y'all know that Florida residents get like severely discounted tickets to Disney, which is nice. So he'd be able to get us cheap tickets too if I wanted to go to Disney World, which I've done. I went to Disney World for my 18th birthday, and that was a lot of fun. I actually really, really enjoyed it. Um, and I think I would enjoy it even now, more now, because when I went, I did go, to celebrate my 18th birthday, but we were also there with my little cousins who were quite young at the time. And so, like, a lot of the things that I wanted to do, we either couldn't do because they were too young to do, or like there was other things that we had to do because they would lose their mind if they didn't get to do. So it wasn't all about me like I wanted the trip to be because it was my 18th birthday. Um, but I still have fun. I mean, it's Disney World. You're gonna have fun unless you just really, really hate amusement parks or whatever. Um, it was fun, but I think now I would love to go like with my brother. He just turned 36, so it'd be nice to go with like a group of adults and be able to like I want to go to Epcot and do the drinks. You can say you drank around the world, quote unquote. And then just like walk around Disney, get on. I'm not a big person to like get on rides or anything like that. I like going to amusement parks for literally everything else. Like I'm not a big ride person at all. Like I'll get on some, but I definitely do not like roller coasters. But I love the atmosphere. I like everything else that has to do with amusement parks. Like I love going to like the doing the art like the games and stuff. Oh, like if anyone y'all are familiar with Carowinds, I would always go to Carowinds, get on like maybe 3 rides, and then play all the games and do all the other activities like the go-karting and stuff like that. And then water park. I love water parks. So I would do all that instead of like getting on roller coasters and stuff. But yeah, there's a lot there's it seems to be like there's more and more doll shows popping up that are I would say bigger shows. Most states have like a smaller doll show, but they're usually not reborn centric. So if you are interested, there is a list online of all the like doll shows. And I think there's one in most states at this point. But like I said, just don't expect to go to those shows and see a lot of reborns. I know a lot of those shows will have a few reborns that you can go and see. Um, in fact, it might be a good idea if you're an artist to go to those type of shows because you'll probably make a lot of money because you won't have competition. So just something to think about. Like look into your local. Usually they're doll and teddy shows. Uh, for some reason, those two hobbies seem to go hand in hand, and you'll see a lot of the porcelain dolls, their antique dolls, stuff like that, which I think are still pretty cool. So I've gone to like some doll shows that aren't reborn shows. Um, I think it's cool still because I love history, and you get to through dolls you actually learn so much about history because they are meant to represent real people, and usually it's like real people at the time. So a lot of times at these shows you'll see dolls in the clothing of when they were made, and I think that's really cool. So I don't know. I would check them out if I were you. Look into your local doll shows, see what you might have available around you if you can't afford to go to one of the reborn specific shows. Um, there's other options, is my point. Like, I think I'm gonna start looking into some just so I can, because there's honestly that I didn't even try this year to get a table at the Dolls of the World Expo in Raleigh, the show that I've been mainly talking about. I didn't even try to get a table because once I realized the priority for the tables went to went to the people who had already been vendors there last year. That's when I was like, I'm not even gonna try because it was already so like competitive last year. And then now you're giving all the spots back to the people who also already sold there last year. I don't like that when they do that with doll shows. I know why they do it. I get why they do it. I know they want to create like, "Oh, come back, you'll see me again next year. If you like my work this year, you'll see me again next year." And they want to keep like a staple of artists that they trust, but it's hard then for people like me who didn't get to get a table last year, and then now you're giving priority to people who already sold there. So once I realized they were gonna do that, I was like, I'm not even gonna apply. I'm not even gonna do the application. I'm not even gonna look at it. Maybe I'll try again in a few years, but I just was like, nope, you're giving priority. The people who were there last year as vendors, a lot of them sold so well that of course when they offered them to come back, most of them said yes. And so then your only option really was to add yourself to the wait list and try to hope that you would get a spot in the doll show as a vendor. Um, and I wasn't gonna waste my time with that because I would have to start making dolls like beginning of the year to have enough dolls to then maybe be able to sell um, at the doll show. And I say maybe because it's like you're planning and you're making all these dolls, hoping that you'll get off the wait list. And then if you don't get off the wait list, now you have a whole bunch of dolls that you've like stockpiled basically. And now you've got to sell them. And now you've got all these damn dolls that you got to sell. So yeah, it didn't make sense for me to try this year. It was a little discouraging, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I wish what they did was like did like a lottery for their artists that were already there last year, like the vendors that were at the show last year. I wish they would do a lottery and pick like half of them to return. You know what I mean? And then the other half would be new vendors that you know can provide that they're real artists and legitimate. Like, here's my account or whatever. I wish the doll shows would do it that way, half old reoccurring people or a lottery pick of half of the people who were there before and then a lottery of the new applicants. I think that would, to me, that would be more fair. But again, what do I know? I don't run the doll show. So I wish I could have the time and energy to run a doll show. I'm doing all these other things. Okay. So if you didn't check already, I was live not too long ago to pick the winner of this baby. And now I'm going to start painting her. She's been in this bag for so long. She's got a little dust on her. I already picked the winner. The winner has already claimed the doll. But like I said, I always tell people this: don't just unsubscribe because you didn't win, or do. I don't really care if you do. I mean, if you are only here for giveaway, I mean, that's you. But I always do giveaways every now and then. So it's not like I won't be doing another giveaway at some point. Like I usually do a few giveaways per year. So just because you didn't win this one doesn't mean you won't win the other one. And always my requirement is that you are subscribed to my channel. So it wouldn't make sense to unsubscribe if you then want to join into a giveaway because you'll have to resubscribe anyway. Unless you just don't want to see my channel, which is sure fine. But yeah, I'm always doing giveaways because I usually can afford to do so, and I'm here to make things more accessible for people. Because I know these dolls can be very expensive for people. Which, I think I mentioned this in the past little while, or maybe I hadn't set it up yet. I think I made a post about it. I don't know. I now accept buy now, pay later, meaning if y'all are familiar with Affirm, I have set up my reborns.com account so that you can now do payments. And what is different about this type of payment is you will get your doll. Like I'll ship your doll right away because what it does, and I love this because I use this option when I buy things a lot of times anyway, myself personally, and I love doing this. You can have it set up that it will just automatically take the money out of your bank account or it'll charge your card every 2 weeks until the item is paid off. Usually it's paid in 4, so you do 4 installments. But what that means is I send the doll right away. It's your doll, but I'm guaranteed to get paid still. So it's not like a normal layaway where you give me a payment, I'm keeping that doll until that thing is paid off. Like, you will not get your doll until it's paid off. With Affirm and like Pay in 4 or whatever, Klarna is another one. Um, you get your doll right away, and I get my money. So it's a win-win for everyone, really, to use that option if you don't have the money to pay for a doll all in one go. It really is super cool. And yeah, I set up my Reborn's account to accept that type of payment now. No one's used it yet, but I assume like they will probably soon because I'm going to be doing a lot bigger dolls. I think they seem to like the dolls around like 6 month size usually sell pretty well for me. So I think I'm gonna do a few more of those per year than I was be doing before because I like making them and they sell well. And but those are usually way they almost always are more expensive, of course, than my smaller dolls. So this will be a good option for people who want a bigger doll but can't pay like $600 all at once and but want their doll right away. So yeah, I'm very excited to be able to offer this option of payment for people. And so the first bigger doll that I'll be doing, like I think, well, not of this year. Is it the first bigger doll I've done this year? I can't honestly like my years have started to blend together, so I can't remember when exactly I've made what doll. But that being said, I'll be making a I will be getting the kit and making another Cody bear. And I have had for years people asking me to make them a Cody bear. And back then I would say no because I had already made two. But now since I'm for now I'm painting a kit up to 4 times instead of just two. Um yeah, I'm making another Cody bear. So if someone is interested in that, I already know exactly what skin tone and hair I'm doing for him. I'm going to be doing a skin tone similar to those Elisa Marks or who's the sculptor? I made a set of twins a little while back, and they had the beautiful like afro hair, super soft hair, and they were like this beautiful like middle skin tone, medium to kind of darker skin tone, and they were just so beautiful. I loved those twins, and so that's my plan with Cody Bear is to do him in that skin tone, and then have him have a little afro. I think he's gonna be so cute. I Cody Bear is honestly one of my favorite awake kits like of all time. So yeah, it just made sense for me to do another Cody Bear because I wanted to do another bigger doll. I'm painting veins right now. That's why I was like, I stopped talking. Now, I almost decided to do a Lottie, but I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I really, really don't like Lottie. But I asked on my Instagram, I was like, who do you want me to make next? Don't say pickle because I made like 3 pickles in a row and I still have someone else wanting me to do a custom pickle. So I'm kind of at the moment wanted to not do another pickle until I do that custom. Um, just to give myself a break and variety as such. Um, and quite a few people said that they wanted me to do a Lottie. And Lottie is by Laura Lee Eagles. And I was like, "Oh, she seems popular. Maybe I will do one." But I just don't like her. I really don't. So maybe if I get desperate, like if I really want to make some money, I'll make a Lottie. Or if someone wants me to do a custom, I'll do one. Like there's nothing wrong with the sculpt itself. Um, I just don't like her. I don't think she's very cute personally. Um, But yeah, if I really need some money or a sale, um, or it's a custom, I'll definitely do a Lottie because that's what made me end up finally doing a Saskia, is I really wanted a quick sale, um, because I had to pay off something, and that's what that's why I did a Saskia, because I knew she would sell, and she did. She sold, like, immediately. So, but I hate Saskia. Everyone knows who's been around my channel for a long time knows how much I hate that kit. But no matter what I say about her, the girl is popular. She will sell. If you paint her, she will sell. I'll be doing another Levi. Speaking of quick sellers from Bonnie, I will be doing a Levi sooner rather than later. Another one as well, just because I've been like craving to do another Levi for quite a bit now. I've been thinking about doing one, so he'll probably be done in the next couple months. I'll be doing a Levi. Not, I'm not gonna wait too long to do one. Um, I'll probably do Levi in like maybe April. Get some nice birthday money going because my birthday is April 12th, so maybe I'll start him late March. I don't know. Might be sooner than that, might be later than that. But I will be doing another Levi. So again, if y'all are interested in what I have available and or seeing what I'm working on, I'm always posting on Instagram. I try to post in the group that I have on Facebook. I have a reborn group for beginner artists and experienced artists who want to assist with new artists. Um, I have that Facebook page, and it's doing really well. By the way, we that page I swear is like taking off all of a sudden. Um, it's growing a lot, which I'm very happy about. It's very good. Um, so I try to post like work in progresses on there sometimes, but mostly when I'm working on dolls, I put them on my Instagram just because it's easiest for me. And then like my completed dolls, if they don't sell right away through Instagram, I always post my dolls on reborns.com. So you can follow people, you can follow artists on there, and that way you will actually get an email once they have posted a doll for sale, which is super cool. I follow just a few artists on there, and it's always cool to see what they have available. Maybe I'll buy one of them. But yeah, reborns.com is great because it will send you that notification. And I've gotten a lot of quick sales that way, so it's been great once you follow an artist on there. So, because I always get people on here on YouTube for some reason, I get a lot of people asking if I have dolls for sale, and usually I do, but for some reason they don't know where to find me. Um, but yeah, reborns.com, same name on there, so Uni Reborn Dad, and you'll know where you can find me and the dolls I list. I don't list anywhere else except for if you ever see some of my dolls and they're claiming to be me, I only list on reborns.com and Facebook, but you'll know it's me because it'll have my picture. um, Now, that being said, people do resell my dolls, but you would obviously want to get a safety picture and everything and make sure you know who you're buying from. Always working on the veins. You can kind of see them actually. Yeah, so that's where I post always. Reborns.com. There's been a lot of things going on with that site recently because the owner, he's not an artist or a reborn collector himself. But again, I want to say big giant but here. He has had this website, I think, since at least 2012. He's had this website for Reborn artists to post. So he's not at all like not related to the Reborn world. Like he's been around us as artists and collectors for quite a long time. And so right now he's trying to make things better on reborns.com, but unfortunately, a lot of what he is doing is making it a little bit more chaotic, or it was at first. He's fixing things now, but he's trying to make it better for artists to sell on. And right now, a lot of people are unhappy with him. And it's pissing me off because they're treating him like he's some strange man who doesn't care about reborn artists, who doesn't care about reborn collectors. Like they're trying to treat him like I don't. They're the way they're talking about him is so horrible. Some of these people that I had once respected are talking about Dave, the owner of reborns.com, like a dog. They're like publicly hating on this man for trying to fix things and make things better. Like he's not trying to hurt anyone, and he's trying to make things better on the website. Now, the main reason people are mad at him is because he changed around the front page a lot recently. Like he took off alternative dolls, so like fantasy dolls and uh he took fantasy dolls and alternative dolls off the home screen. Like they're not there anymore with all the other types of dolls. And now I understand if you're someone who only paints those type of dolls, why you would be upset. But also, the thing about it is, most people aren't just painting those types of dolls. And so he actually asked for feedback. He did he did an actual poll and stuff. Like he didn't just make this change out of the blue. He asked people, "Do you think this would be a good idea?" And the results were like the vast majority. I mean, I don't have his exact results memorized, but it was like very, very vast majority of people were like, yes, we would rather see the human reborns on the front page. And then you can click a tab if you want to see fantasy dolls or alternative dolls. Like there'll be a separate category page for those on reborns.com. Like all you have to do if you want to see those types of dolls, by the way, people are freaking out over no reason because if people want those type of dolls, they're going to go click on the tab. People are I swear like the people freaking out about moving this from the front screen are they must think that collectors are stupid um and don't know how to click on a website. Especially one that's so clear as like you click here to see alternative dolls. But yeah, all he did was just move them to their own tab. So if you're someone who sells only fantasy dolls or only paints alternative reborns, your customers are still going to find your work because if they're looking for that type of dolls, they'll just click on the tab. So I truly like I get why you would be upset at first. But the way that they're attacking him for some of this is like, dude, chill out. He cannot make everyone happy. And that's why he's like taking feedback and he's doing these polls and he's asking people what he should do to improve the site. He's not just like, it's my site, I'm going to do this. Don't care what y'all think. It's not even like that at all. Like he's always on the forum part of it. If y'all don't know, reborns.com, if you pay for a membership, there's a forum and he's always on there. Like this is his full-time job, I'm pretty sure, is running this page website and his other website. But yeah, people have been attacking him, like actually attacking his character recently for some of these changes. And then another thing is why people are mad at him is not just the moving the alternative dolls off the front page. People are mad at him which by the way, I'm pretty happy that he moved to alternatives because they are distracting to me. Like I like them. Sometimes I do like them. I think they're cool to look at sometimes, but a lot of times they're like some of them can be quite interesting and it's a little distracting. Um, and reborns are mostly not alternatives. Like just be honest here. The other reason people are mad at him, which again, have some perspective. My whole thing here about this rant that I'm going on right now is we have got to stop like reacting without thinking about it or having a perspective or having a moment to have a perspective, have perspective, like chill out, realize what's going on in the situation before reacting. Everyone's too reactionary these days. He upped the monthly fee. So it used to be $19 a month for the paid membership. He doesn't have different membership levels. He never has, from my understanding. Um, so it went from $19 a month to now it's $30 a month. Now, keep in mind, this is the first time that he's ever upped the price. And he's had this site, I think, for, like I said, at least 12 years. Everything else in the world is increasing in price and had a long time ago. I don't think it's unfair for the amount of work that he puts into trying to improve that site and the sheer amount of people that the site attracts. I feel like $30 a month, it's not that expensive. That's only $1 a day. And a lot of people are making a crap ton of money from reborns.com. So I don't think that's a big ask. Like once you think about it, like, oh gosh, don't even get me started with the listing, the how difficult it is to list on other sites like eBay and Etsy and Mercari, and like the listing fees and stuff on those sites. No, thank you. I'd rather just pay my nice little $30 a month and list as many dolls as I damn well please. Um, and and I know that the site is way more secure because those other sites like eBay, Mercari, Etsy, sure you could post there if you want. The problem with those sites, most of them at this point have knockoffs on there or scams, just straight up scams on there. And so I would never feel comfortable really anymore directing people to those sites. Like I never do. I direct people to reborns.com. So when you rationalize it like that, what you're getting for the price you pay a month, um, it's really not that much. But yeah, people were real pissed. They were like, "How dare you change the you make so much money off of us and you're," and this is what killed me. One of these people that I thought were decent artists, she had the nerve. Hello. She had the nerve when all of these changes are being made to reborns.com. They're like the way they are acting are like a bunch of mean girl bullies. Like they're on unrelated posts telling people not to shop on reborns.com. Like these are grown ass women, by the way, doing all this. They're like going onto people's posts, right? Unrelated to reborns.com and saying, don't sell on reborns.com, don't support reborns.com. The owner Dave is just out for money, yada yada yada. Meanwhile, they don't realize how many hours he puts into the damn site. Of course he wants to make a little bit of money because it's a job at the end of the day. And it's really cute to me because it's like at least he cares enough to try to hear feedback, and he cares about the reborn artists. He cares about the collectors. You think Mercari, you think eBay, you think Etsy is gonna care about you? Yeah, no, no, sir. Yeah, so people are like straight up like going off the rails with him. that's what I just don't understand is like people are saying he's not quote one of us, but do you think Mercari, Etsy, eBay is one of us? You think they're gonna care if they have scam dolls on their website? No. You think that they're gonna care if someone tries to do a chargeback on you? Nah, not really. No. So, and that's why, like, I'm sticking with reborns.com. You would have to do a lot of really fucked up things, basically, pardon my French, but he would have to do a lot of messed up things to that website for me to no longer want to sell on it because it really is the best option. It gets the most traffic that are specifically related to reborns, like people who are going to buy, they're looking to buy reborns. Um, it has the most traffic and quality of service for what you're getting. Like y'all know how I feel about that other reborn selling site. I will never recommend, and you will not catch me selling on that thing. That those owners give me the worst vibes ever, and I won't go back into why. Y'all can look back at my other videos and know why I will never sell on that site, and I will never tell people to go to that site. So, yeah, it's just those owners of that site. They are pretty gross. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go bake these dolls, which is such a weird sentence every time. It makes me giggle a little bit. Go put these dolls in the oven, my new wave, and relax for the rest of the night. Call my brother back, see what he wanted. Yeah, I will see you guys next time. And hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend. All right, bye.